Knicks going to the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead, Al. 2-point lead. It's a game with several back and forth, several runs. But just could not get any stops, man. Could not get any stops whatsoever. You had the Halliburton matchup with Deuce McBride. 3 straight possessions, he gets the best of Deuce, which leads to either Halliburton points or Pacer or Halliburton assists or Halliburton to the free throw line. Knicks couldn't get that right. And then you had back-to-back Miles Turner threes, one of which they call Karl Anthony Towns way deep in a drop. Miles Turner. Go figure. And that was pretty much it after that, bro. That was pretty much it after that. The Knicks found themselves down by about 7 after that Turner 3. And then the Pacers just kept pouring it on. On the other end, you had, yes, Brunson got his groove back, but you had a lot of empty possessions as well, man. A lot of possessions where non-Brunson ball handlers were stumbling and bumbling around and could not get a bucket. And when the other end, when the Pacers are just bombing away and you can't put one foot in front of the other offensively or defensively, this is what you get.
CP, it's just it's just aggravating at this point, man. It's really, really aggravating at this point because we can have great conversations after apparently just bum teams, Bucks, Pistons, anybody. But, you know, when it comes against teams that we're competing against, you know, whether it be the Cavs, Celtics, Pacers, you know, it's just, it looks disjointed. Guys are missing rotations. Guys are asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
We can't be having this, man. I keep saying this. With the talent that we have on this team, it has to shine through. I can understand having to, like, work and understand everybody's got to gel at some point, especially the offense. Actually, on both sides of the ball. I can understand that. I can totally understand that. But the talent has to show up, man. I mean, we're watching Bridges getting cooked by Halliburton at this point, okay? We're watching Cat. I understand that he's prolific offensively, but defensively, I mean, the one that, like, just really stood out was McConnell gets right past him, finds a cutting Mathurin for, you know, a dunk, and it's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, yeah. And it looked like Cat just, like, was like, oh, no, let me just get out of the way. And it's stuff like that, and it's not just pointing on Cat, it's everybody, man. Everybody. The identity of this team just seems to be gone from what it was last season, where defense was priority. We always knew we'd be in it. Offensively, we'd be fine, but defense would carry us through. The offense, like, we're in these games numbers-wise.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard to close games if you're not going to make stops, man. And at the end of the day, this is where rubber meets the road. If we can't get stops, doesn't matter how good your offense is. It just doesn't. It's not going to take you that far.
Gotta get stops, man.
I'm still waiting for 20 games, but it's just frustrating, man. But it's getting to the point where it's getting close to the point where we got to start wondering. We just watched this against the Cavs, Houston, Atlanta, now Indy. All right, it hasn't been even a full week yet between Indy, Houston, and Atlanta. We're like, defense, the collapse is in the fourth quarter. What's happening here? Like, it feels like we need to be learning game after game, but yet we're making the same mistakes. So I don't know, man. It's just getting very aggravating at this point.
They had enough offense tonight, like, you know, and I know people are going to get to the Bridges stuff, and I get all of that, but in the grand scheme of things, they scored 120 points. 9 times out of 10, you should win that game in the NBA. It's just not there, man. It's just not there, and you know they're playing pretty much 7-man rotation. Now, I'm not minutes police. I don't like to play that on TV. But, you know, that rotation is pretty much like, okay, Bridges out, McBride in. McBride out, OG in. Hard out, McBride in. Like, that was it. They were playing 7 guys. And did they get gassed? I don't know. What do you think? I don't like to play minutes police. But when I'm seeing the Pacers and Carlisle playing 10 guys on one side, and Tibbs is trotting out the same guys, there's no trust in Kolick, no Okporty, no Dadier, which, okay, I can understand. But at the end of the day, is this the result? Is this what you get?
I think it's partially the result of guys playing a lot of minutes. I mean, to be the counter to that, it's like early in the season, man. Like you should be fresh entering the season, should you not? Like,
Fair.
Like I can understand if you're saying like, look, 20 past 20, 30 games in, you go on long road trips, you're exhausted. What are we? This is like literally the 9th game of the regular season.
Yeah.
I get that in the game you can get tired and stuff of that nature, but the way that NBA players go through training is that they're supposed to be capable of playing 48 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have their rest, they're going to have this stuff, they're going to have that, whatever it may be. But like at some point, it goes both ways, man. Like I can't look at everybody saying, yeah, I get that you need your bench, I get that you need the help, but I'm also looking at how much of an impact is Precious going to make when he returns, like defensively, right?
Right.
How much? Like I honestly don't know. Mitch is different. We know how much of an impact Mitchell Robinson can be, but that's not until January.
Yeah.
That's not until January. But we are like, when we get Precious back, when we get all these guys back, like especially relatively when we talk about Cam and Precious, how much of an impact are they actually going to make for the immediate? I don't know. And so this is where, like, I understand we can look at the minutes and all this type of stuff, but are you going to tell me that Precious being out here is going to be the massive difference maker, especially when they're knocking down threes at a high clip for Indy? Like, I'm looking at that as a rotational thing for guys playing defense. I don't know if Precious is going to be that guy on the perimeter just walking everybody up and making sure that threes aren't being knocked down.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're getting screened, if you're not getting back in rotations, if you're protecting the paint, as we know a Tom Thibodeau team likes to do, how much of that is on the players being tired, where it can also be a schematic thing. Like, Tibbs also has to adjust to what this roster is, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're putting Cat in a drop coverage. He's not necessarily the greatest in drop. And you have guys who are just knocking down threes, especially with Turner at this point. So why not switch it up?
Let's go to 202, Al. 202, what's your name? Where you calling in from?
Yo, what's good? It's Marlon.
Marlon, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man.
Appreciate
Watch
it, man.
this game. Yeah, man. I love the show too, man.
Appreciate it, man.
But watch this game, and I'm so disappointed, man. I feel like we made a trade that was unnecessary. I'm sorry to say that to y'all, but I feel like we made an unnecessary trade. And in doing that, now we're talking about we got the best center, and now we don't have the best center. We're going to put him back at the 4, but we already had a 4. It's like, what did we do this all for again? To lose DiVincenzo and another power forward, to get one power forward back, to have a bench? No, not to have a bench. Like, what was this all about?
Yeah.
Because just to start off, because we said it wasn't a clean offense and it wasn't a clean run basketball team, but now it's clean. No, I'm
Not
just
feeling
confused about this whole process of why we even did it.
Mm.
You know,
keeping it real, man. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate the call.
Man.
Tap in, man. Is there anybody in the chat? I mean, rate that call in the chat. Good people in the chat, man. Marlon checking in says, why do we even make this trade? He's not feeling it. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I like that. He came in and threw gasoline on everything.
Yeah, some people are agreeing with him real early, man. We're seeing some 5s, 4s. There's some tomatoes with, is that olives? Tomatoes and olives. Look, how you been?
Look, I got the trade in that, you know, what he's saying, you know, what was the point of it? They wanted to raise their ceiling, their championship ceiling, with the guys that they, based on, you know, Brunson's elevation. You traded for OG. Then you put more chips in the middle to get Mikal Bridges. Mind you, the second apron and all of that, like, that was the time that you had to make the move. They didn't believe in Julius to pay him. So, but the Ragu, man, the Ragu was a big one. The Ragu was a big one. But like I said, I think it tells you how much they wanted Towns, that they were willing to even trade Ragu in this.